Sorry we're late, everybody. I had technical difficulties that I had to go to the bathroom, and then Buster is running around downstairs.
Business as usual.
Yep, business as usual
Also,
indeed.
I'm back.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are back to our originally scheduled programming, and we returned with Fate's Day Night. Does anybody remember what happened last time on Fate's Day Night?
Before I saw this particular screen, I did not, but then I did, and it's just like, oh right, we left on that note.
Yeah. Tragedy. You're right. Tragedy did happen. Anyway. I feel like
we barely knew Casper.
True.
She'll get her day in the limelight.
Yeah.
Before she's killed again.
But anyway, that's not what's happening. We left before our date could happen. Or we decided
we left it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we left it on a cliffhanger that emotional stuff happened. Stood up, rip.
And it's Valentine's.
And it's Valentine's Day. What a great time to have a first date.
No pressure. Then the next thing I know, it's morning. Pathetic. Couldn't sleep a wink. Oh,
Shirou not being rested on Valentine's Day for your first ever date? Dang. That's rough, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, is the audio okay everywhere? Just thought I'd ask before we keep going. I'm pretty sure Azure is hearable, and so is Discord, but it's like...
Better be.
I am loud. I should lower myself. Is that what you're saying? I was away. Who got stood up? Nobody got stood up. Hang on. Azure a little quiet and Cherry is a little loud. Okay. Baba 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 booey baba booey baba booey.
Hello?
Let me... Alright, and I put up Discord. Azure, say something again.
How am I coming through now?
I feel like you've been quiet lately. Has your mic gone bad?
It's not a good mic to begin with, but I think I was also just talking like lower than I usually do.
Nah. Well, this
I will try to project my voice.
Guys, I think this is the loudest I can make Azure through Discord.
Give me a second to turn on a light.
It should be good enough. Good enough now. Is that ringing in game? Yes. That's the alarm clock telling us it's time to get up. It's time to wake up, Sparks.
Will someone please answer that goddamn phone?
Yeah. Bass boosted Azure, please.
Just deep fry the audio. I sigh and turn off the ringing alarm clock. Today, no matter what she says, Saber and I are going on a date. No, that's not how that works, Shirou.
Yeah, Shirou, she has to agree.
There's only one thing she can say that ensures you're going on a date, and that's yes. If she says anything else, it's not happening.
Shirou, she has to say yes. In order for it to be a date, she has to say yes. If a girl says no, no means no, Shirou. Remember? You learned that from when you walked into her. Yeah.
That's just kidnapping.
Azure, talk to Shirou, please. Tell him this is not how boys do things.
I do, but I'm afraid like it just goes in one ear, out the other.
Mm-hmm.
My first priority will be to take her to plenty of places so she'll have a chance to enjoy herself.
Not even 5 minutes and consent is already being violated.
I've been trying to search my mind for the perfect spot for a date, but before I could come up with anything, my alarm went off. It's like, I don't go out and do things. I do not know what's in this town.
Mm-hmm. I
turn
do
the
one
alarm
thing,
clock
and
on
that's
just in
train.
case. I occasionally work at a part-time job. Do you think the school roof would be romantic?
Oh.
Nah, it's probably still like cordoned off because of the whole Shinji thing.
Mm-hmm.
As hard as I try, I still couldn't think of anything last night, so I borrowed an alarm clock from Tosaka, figuring I might pull an all-nighter. Not that it's done any good. Come to think of it, I've never been on a date. I sigh again. That's sort of a problem. I'm nervous enough, plus I didn't sleep, but I think the worst part is how shocked I am that after staying up all night to think about it, I couldn't come up with a single thing a girl might like. Fine, I'm gonna leave it all to chance. I'm just going to take her all over the place, and she'll learn what it's like to have a good time. Again, not how that works.
Shirou, you're supposed to think about what she likes to do, not about what girls like. There's difference, Shirou.
She
What
likes
would
to fight.
What would Saber like to do?
I hear wrestling is big in Japan.
Yeah. I heard that you have someone who in your group who might even be in the pro wrestler scene, but she would never admit it.
And even if she isn't, her blonde friend definitely is.
Yeah.
I'll just take her to cute shops. You know,
Bruh, are they gonna go to a sword museum? That's what Shirou likes, not what she likes. Maybe.
no, I mean, she likes combat, but I don't think she likes, like, swords themselves. I think she just likes to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like there's a fundamental flaw in that plan, but I've already made up my mind. There's nothing else I can think of, but what this all boils down to is that today is going to be a day packed with fun, and it'll go on until Saber says she's had enough.
Sure, I've had enough. Okay,
So
never
maybe
mind then.
30 seconds at the most.
Mm-hmm.
45 if we're lucky.
So Idiasfeel is not yet awoken? No, she's still asleep. It doesn't look like she's gonna wake up anytime soon. So you two got lucky there. If Ilyar were awake, she would have followed Shirou around and gotten in the way. Yes, we cannot have her accompany Shirou like she's been doing. Things may have taken an unexpected turn last night, but today we shall go and search for the remaining masters. Shirou does not have time to be taking care of Ilyasfeel.
Oh, that's cute that you think that that's what we're doing today.
I don't know if Saber's legs would be...
Ren is just standing there waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't talking about her getting in the way like that, but oh well. It's not my place to tell you exactly what you're doing. This is you and Shirou's problem.
Tosaka laughs mischievously. I never should have opened my big fucking mouth to her.
Huh? A problem between Shirou and I?
We finished breakfast, and it seems like a good time to leave. Saber's ready to look for masters, but I'm determined to execute my plan as well. I just need to be a man and tell her. About that, Saber. We're going to go to the neighboring town today. If you have to get ready, I want you to do it now.
Are we going to go in search of masters? I would suggest we go to the suburbs instead of the neighboring town.
That's not what we're doing. The two of us are going to go out and have fun today, so there's no point in us going to the suburbs.
Huh?
Saber freezes. I tried to ignore the sound of Tosaka trying, and largely failing, to control her laughter behind me. I will get her for that. later.
Oh, Shirou, I do not understand. It is not you and Rin going to have fun, but if I'm going, then you're the only one who could come with me, Saber. Oh, that's you.
If I'm going, you're the only one who could come with me, Saber. Tosaka's going to stay back and watch Ilya, so she has nothing to do with this.
I thought it was like Rin being like, if I'm going, then I'm going with Saber and Shirou staying here, and it'll be a date between the two of us.
Yes. It's still, like, the date is still going to happen. And, like, there's two things are set in stone. The date is happening, and one of the participants is going to be Saber.
Yep. This is ridiculous. You and I are going to the next town to investigate will yield nothing. There's no point to this. What are you trying to accomplish here?
I want to see the dragon again. Saber's pretty clearly frustrated. I kind of figured something like this would happen, but things are looking even bleaker than I thought, since she clearly thinks we're going out to town to search for masters.
Look, Saber, ever since that day I wielded your sword, I've had a bit of time to think about it, and I think we get along really well together.
I mean, it's not often that you could say that couples have gotten the chance to wield the same sword together. This is rough. I'm being really clear, but you still don't get it. Alright, Saber, I'm trying to ask you on a date. I ignore Tosaka's stare as I speak to Saber. I'm not sure how much Saber understands.
I do not understand what you mean. Can you clarify, Shirou? What does this date speak of? What is dating, please?
I mean, like in a calendar? Are we going to go shopping for calendars?
Mm-hmm. Anybody excited to play Emiya and Fate Extra Record? I will, once I get through Nero's route.
I mean, I feel like I have an obligation to play his route first, because when I first played Fate Extra, he was the servant I started with.
Mm-hmm. Azure's going for the bro route right out of the gate.
No lesbian antics in my game.
Just bros being bros. No homo. Or maybe a little homo. Who knows?
Look, it was my first love triangle. I needed to start slow with only having 2 love interests.
But anyway. Bro, Emiya is the GOAT. Yeah. It's honestly, Extra Emiya is hilarious at times, because unlike Stay Night Emiya, who he's kind of standoffish for like the entire thing, more or less, he becomes a total mom in Extra, which is hilarious.
I know that this is probably not correct, but I almost feel like the Fate route version of Archer and Extra Archer are the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
Unlimited Blade Works Archer is a
Unlimited Blade Works is a whole other beast, and he's not really around for too long. In the other route we will not speak of, because no servant is really around too long in that other route, at least.
Except for you know, the cash cow Saber.
Yeah.
Now in the goth.
But
mode,
now in
Ryder.
goth tone and Ryder. So yeah,
This is for all the people out there who like tall chicks.
and I'm like, that's why I'm saying it's like what people like talk about. Personally, I'm good with Tamamo and Fate Extra Record. Good. You can have. I love Tamamo too, but you can have her. Don't touch my baby.
No, all three are mine. All 3 are mine. You can share Nero.
Yeah. Don't touch my neighbor! Aw, dang, Azure. I also have to, like, talk to everybody. Guys, you don't understand. Draco Nero cleaned me out. I rolled non-stop for that bitch.
Please tell me you only got her once.
I did only get her once.
Okay.
I used more than half of my gems because I had over 1,000. And then I used all of my tickets which I had about 100 tickets before I started. That's how much it took. That's how much it took. Beast Draco. Oh no, Cherry.
Yeah,
I'm not a gacha hound. I'm not a gacha hound.
I must say, like, the ones that they're putting in there, like,
yeah.
must just not be that interesting if you just keep saving your quartz.
Well, no, it's because I know what the banners are, so I saved specifically for the banner.
Fair enough.
But also
it does help when you're following both the Japanese and the English version.
Yeah. But it also it also helped. Yes, Cherry is a gacha hound for her favorite anime waifus. That's correct. Only for my favorites. But it also helps that I lucked out on this during Fairy Britain. I got so effing lucky. I got Oberon, Morgan, and Melusine all in a couple of rolls. So that's how I've also been able to save up my things, because of the couple of characters who... Basically, these characters have become characters that you kind of need to have, sort of thing. Well, not need. You technically don't need to have them, but they're going to be good for the meta for a while. Like, Oberon is currently still our only 5-star pretender. Morgan is our... If we were to choose between Artoria and Morgan, I would go with Fae Queen Morgan. I would also go with Fae Queen Morgan because she is voiced by the same person who does female Hakuno. I don't have a type. Anyway. I don't have a favorite series. Anyway.
I don't identify with a certain player character.
Yeah. On brand. Also, isn't it also funny to think about how technically that voice actress plays 2 Saber faces, because she doesn't also do Morgan, she also does Full Metal Saber from that one anime. They're like, she looks like Saber, but she's not. She's just from a different anime. Hot take, with the new 2 summon banners for Beast Nero, Tiamat, I like Tiamat more. It's okay if you like Tiamat more. Alter egos are very versatile to have, and there's not a ton of them. At least in the 5-star range, I feel, for alter egos. And the current NA banners. But I was like, I need to get Nero Beast form now because she's powerful against almost every servant type, so I'm hoping for Sniper Simo Hamaya to come to FGO one day. Maybe. Maybe. Let's see, what else? But it's hilarious because technically, at this point with Beast Nero, this is kind of where my JP knowledge kind of ends, except for like a current event that happened recently. But that's also because I follow Arco Wada on Twitter. So anytime she posts anything, usually it's relative to stuff with her own art and stuff like that. So that's why I knew right away that event was happening. Why couldn't we get a 4th route in Fate Stay Night visual novel where we romance Saber, Brandon, and Sakura at all the same time? We already have that. It's called Carnival Phantasm.
I was about to say that. God damn it.
Alright. Anyway, enough of me talking about FGO before I get way off topic. And we never finish this visual novel. Which, I know we want to. We need to finish it at least before Digimon stuff starts coming out. Because we want to try out some of the games for those. So.
It's a very good year for Digimon.
Yeah.
I could also go into a whole tangent on Digimon, but since we've already spent so much time, I'll save it for later.
It's alright. We need a break from voicing the characters again. We'll write about Digimon.
She looks looks even more irritated. She's been waiting for me to clarify for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, especially since someone in the background keeps going on about this other Saber.
What do you mean, other Saber?
Mm-hmm.
And how the fuck do you know Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
She looks even more irritated. And suddenly it's like a switch flips in my head. There's no sense beating around the bush here. It would be best if I were just blunt with her.
Shirou, if you tell me to go to town, then I will obey. However, I would appreciate if you explain what the purpose of this date is. Date. Is a date something you can eat?
Is that French? You know I don't like the French.
Mm-hmm. No matter how familiar I am with this age, these are terms I do not know. So please do not use technical terms without explaining them.
Just the way that the cursor, like,
Yeah.
like the next like text thing is there. It looks like Rin's getting like the blue lines.
Yeah.
It's not really a technical term. I can teach you if you don't know, but a date is when you go out and have fun. When someone goes out and has fun with a girl.
Huh?
Saber goes completely still.
Girl, do you mean me?
She stays now, muttering.
Oh wait, are we talking about courting? Shirou, you know we're not allowed to do that without two other people present. One to watch over you and one to watch over me, so that way our hands don't go in any places they're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Our elbows length apart.
Mm-hmm.
We need a chaperone. When I nod yes, Saber looks even more confused.
I understand the meaning of the word now, but I do not understand your intentions. For what reason would you do such a thing? Rin just there the entire time in the background.
Like Rin went from like teasing Shirou to like just feeling sympathy for him.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting this question.
Shirou, just come out and say it. Say, I really like you and I think your sword is cool.
Yeah, like, and just so we're clear, like, romantically, I like you.
Yeah.
And I romantically like your sword. I mean, I know what the point of a date is, but now that I'm on the spot and Saber wants me to explain it to her face, well, I need a dictionary.
She's confused because you're using unusual terms. Drop date and just use a term that's easier to understand. Listen, Saber, a date basically means a tryst. Shirou may be talking about going out and having fun, but what are you really getting at here by the whole boy trying to attract the attention of a girl he likes thing?
Wow, that got through to her.
Mm-hmm.
I cough loud. Tosaka may be right, but I am pretty confident that a date and a tryst are two very different things. But I don't think it's worth mentioning. From her reaction, it looks like Saber finally understands what a date is.
No. We can't go behind the curtains and do such a thing. That is immoral. We have to get fully married before we can do such a thing. After all, I must take responsibility for what may happen.
It's like I know that servants can't get pregnant, but I don't think we've ever established that servants can't impregnate someone else.
You want to know what makes me angry? Is that new lore in another universe. Apparently, servants can get pregnant.
Yes, they can't get. They're not supposed to be able to get pregnant, but can they impregnate someone else?
That's true. It's like vampires. Like, a female vampire can't get pregnant, but a male vampire can impregnate someone. Does it work like that?
I mean, the question is, can Saber impregnate someone?
Can she impregnate?
She does. She's done it before. Unwillingly, but she has done it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Saber. We're going to head to town, and we're going not to fight. We can't fight during the day anyway because there are people around, so there should be no problem with us spending the day however we want.
That may be true, but this seems pointless. I can see nothing that you will gain from doing such a thing.
That's not entirely true, and I wouldn't mind if it were. I've decided to spend the day with you, Saber, so don't worry about me. We're going to go out to the town, and that's that. Nothing you say will change my mind, Saber. I look at her straight in the eye. Saber ponders for a while, looking serious.
I've never been on this side of the courting field before.
I've never been the one who was propositioned.
Usually I'm the one who has to do it, even if I don't want to. But they have to say, oh no, you have to go with the bit. You have to pretend at least to seem like you're looking for suitors to align the kingdom with. And then they hooked me up with that Guinevere. Who was at first like, it's okay, I'll keep your secret, she said. But then all of a sudden, it wasn't enough for her. No, me not having a penis was an issue. And then she went off with Lancelot of all people. Lancelot! Did you know that he's only interested in married women? What the hell? Anyway, where was I? Well, I mean, what? Anyway,
You know that Lancelot went through her mind while she was thinking about this. You know that happened.
Yeah. Then even if I refuse, you'll be heading out to town on your own?
Yep, I'm definitely going. Or everything I spent all night thinking about will have been a waste.
I'm gonna go to the girly stores without you.
I'm gonna have crepes by myself.
Then I cannot allow you to go unaccompanied. I am your servant, and so I cannot leave my master to go alone. I will fill the role of chaperone wait, I don't think this works.
This feels like it was compulsory.
Yeah.
After taking a deep breath, Saber answers in her usual manner. Okay, that could have gone better, but at least I've managed to convince her to come out. I shouldn't sweat the small stuff at this point.
Have fun! Bring back something nice! Like, bring me some mochi or something. I don't know, anything good. I'm hungry.
As we step outside, I make a rude gesture at Tosaka since she made fun of me until the very end.
Hey, I can see that, you know!
Yep, that's it. Walk away, flip me off.
So, what specifically are we going to do, Shirou?
Well, let's just head to the neighboring town. We'll catch the bus at the intersection. The hilly path is unusually quiet. It's a little past 9 in the morning on a weekday, and the town is starting to come alive, but it must be a little early to be heading out somewhere. There's no one on the road. It's like we have the road to ourselves. Now that I think about it, I don't feel guilty about skipping school anymore. I've been cooped up in the house these past few days.
Of course, you are a master. You should not be walking around so casually.
Saber's tone is sharp. I get the feeling you don't want to do this. Saber following behind me is nothing new, but it feels different today. I feel this immense pressure directed at me, and that's putting it mildly. I can tell Saber's going to be tough to handle.
Sure, I should protect you by holding your hand, and while we cross the street.
We get on the bus. would have been stuffed with people about an hour ago, but there's only a handful of people using it now.
Haha, off time. I too like getting around places when it's off time.
The only people on the bus are old women with children, so it feels like we have the place to ourselves. Plus, you know, the old...
What do you mean old women, Shirou? Do you mean mothers or grandmothers? Shirou, what do you mean by old women? Shirou.
I haven't met many... I mean, I haven't met many women over the age of 25, to be honest. I've only met the one. Saber, let's sit at the very back. Nicola, for some reason, tries to sit at the front of the bus and lead her to the wider back and seat. Saber quietly looks out over the passing scenery. I still glance at her and realize how crazy I am for what I'm trying to do today. Taking the bus to a nearby town is an ordinary thing for me. But here, in this ordinary place, something extraordinary is happening.
Oh, I just remembered what the thing that I wanted to mention. You know how we said that which the Holy Night was Takekichi's art? It's not. It's his color artist who did all the art for Witch of the Holy Night.
That makes so much sense.
And I was like, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, it makes sense for some of the faces that the characters were doing because I feel like they didn't one-for-one match with Takechi's style. But at the same time, I like how Takechi has basically groomed someone so that if he should ever die, no one will never notice that someone else has taken his place.
The only way to seal the gates of hell is to ensure that the Saber face art remains.
Pretty much. Because I was like... Because I was like, you know, I was at the end of it, and I'm like, well, now that I'm at the end of the visual novel, I need to figure out what the heck was going on with Shojiro. Because, like, I feel like I should get what's happening with him. But I didn't fully pick up on what was going on with him. I know you haven't read everything about it yet, so I won't say anything.
Yeah, no spoilers, please.
Yeah, I will not spoil anything.
You know, maybe I should finish that before I continue any further with Fate Stay Night.
That's true.
I probably should.
I finished it in like the final episode that I did just went live. The other episodes that are coming out for it are just the extra chapters. So it's really not that long of a visual novel, probably because there's no choices, but you know.
How long is, on average, how long is each of your videos?
About 2 hours, the most.
And how many videos are there?
There was... hang on. Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
I'm also sorry if you hear me sniffling. I think I might have caught something while I was away.
Well, I mean, you were away, so... 15 parts I did it in. The longest chapter, I believe, looking at it, was 2 hours and 30 minutes, and that was like the final battle chapter before the epilogue, so...
So basically I need to do an hour a month and I'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
Or an hour each day for a month and I will be done. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, anyway...
There's too many games I need to play.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have my stuff on tonight, Neko, sorry. Alright. Anyway, here we are on the bus. We're going on a date with Saber. Shirou's crazy.
Or, well, I'm finding myself questioning whether I'm actually doing this whole date thing. And my mind starts spinning and whirling like some complex cube puzzle. A Rubik's Cube? Crap, I'm getting really nervous. It's kind of getting out of control. the ribbon. I take a deep breath to calm myself down so Saber won't notice. And then, I know this is stupid, I take another look at Saber. Yeah. This is like the textbook. Oh no, she's hot. My heart skips a beat. And then another. I'm going into shock. Someone call 911. I hardly recognize Saber. She sits next to me. Well, it's less that I don't recognize her than it is that the situation itself is unrecognizable. It makes me realize that she is something else. She is different. I didn't realize it when we were home.
Right, she's a foreigner. Gah!
She really doesn't want to be here with me right now. This is new. That's why this feels so weird.
Mm-hmm.
This ordinary, everyday life seems to me like it's becoming something entirely new and different just because Saber is here. Golden blonde hair, green eyes. Those are alone are enough to make her overwhelmingly beautiful. It hadn't really crossed my mind since I never had much to compare her to. I remember the first time I met Saber. I must have been avoiding her because I was too embarrassed to admit that I was admiring Saber. No matter what Saber says to me, she's a girl before she's a swordsman. I don't know how to react to her, and I didn't understand my feelings for her. Admit, I know I sound stupid.
No! Only now?
This isn't even Shirou talking, this is just Takeuchi.
Yeah. Natsu, you mean?
I developed trust and affection for Saber past the point of no return. Now I've decided to go on a date with her. The order of events is all backwards. Now as I get off the bus.
The boost. The boosy.
I can't believe Shirou was riding on a bus.
Yeah, I can't believe you're riding on a boost.
I finally realized what a big deal it is to go on a date with a girl that I like. I've only gone on dates with girls I don't like. That's okay. I can only give it my all, so I can't very well take it back and cower in fear now. I calm myself and try to shake off my ridiculous apprehension. The bus crosses the bridge and drives towards the development area and its masses of tall buildings. I breathe out, almost whistling, and ready myself. The familiar bus announcement tells us that we've arrived at Shinto Station. It's only 9 in the morning, but the area around the station is already busy. Most of the shops don't open until around 10 o'clock, but cafes and smaller bookshops are starting to open. There are already more people here than you'd expect in Miyama, even if it were a weekend. She really does not want to do this. We get off the bus, and Saber looks around the area displeased.
I walk this lonely road, the only road.
Man, this is the worst Valentine's Day ever. She hasn't really agreed to the whole date thing, and everyone is staring at her now. Yeah, she
Sure, I want you to know that I'm listening to early 2000s emo music in my head, thinking I'd rather be anywhere with here. Also, I am going to become goth punk Avril Lavigne Saber.
So hang on a second. The Grail informs you what punk, goth, Avril Lavigne is.
Yeah.
But you don't know what a date is.
Yes. Look, Shirou, I chose the things that I was most interested in. And punk rock of Avril Lavigne Saber was a very interesting thing. I had to know.
Her expression just screams the audacity of this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt she loves that. Crap, I should have figured this might happen if I brought Saber here in the morning. But this discomfort is bound to follow us around all day. Stupid, I should have made you wear the raincoat. The only cure for this I can think of is Saber enjoying herself so much that she forgets all the awkwardness. Alright. I smack my fist into my hand and look over to Saber. Saber, before we start, is there anywhere you would like to go? We came all the way out here, so we can do whatever you want today.
No, there's nothing. This place holds no particular interest to me, and I have little knowledge about it with which to make any other decisions.
Are you sure? Well, this is gonna be tough, and I really do just have to wing it. If you don't want to go anywhere, and I don't know where to go...
Look, sure, the only thing that I have memory of is like this weird little cafe or something that's controlled by these, like, talking cat creatures or something. I don't know. I was like a maid for them for a day or something. It was really weird. And also it seems like time and space folds in on itself in that cafe in particular. Because I feel like I remember seeing Kiritsugu there for like a brief second and it was weird.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I feel like I heard on the news a couple weeks ago that the cafe was condemned after they found a bunch of rabid cats living in it.
I hope you're not saying you have made no plans for today, Shirou.
Well, I have some plans, but they're a little light on details. For the time being, let's just hit up as many shops as we can. That's kind of hard to do. I know some stores I'd enjoy, but I have no idea what girls like. Honestly, if I'd known this would happen to me someday, it would have been smart to go out with a girl from class at least once. Let's see, I think they've got a Build-A-Bear around here. Girls like Build-A-Bear, right?
I do not intend to object, but there's something wrong with you, Shirou. I would not have thought that you had... you had suggested to take a break, but that you had no plan for this interlude is completely ridiculous.
Saber's breaking the fourth wall. Crap, now Saber's in lecturing mode. This is the first time she's ever given me such an earful outside the dojo. She wasn't into this from the start, and I figured all the people staring at her wouldn't help, but I didn't realize it would be this bad.
I've been waiting for the opportunity to bring up with your lack of planning. You may be keenly aware of the people around you, but you care little for yourself. Consequently, you end up paying the price for your lack of self-regard.
Wow, they really are just like a married couple.
Hey, are you listening? Shirou!
I am. Bottom line is that you don't understand why we're here, right, Saber? I know the places I'm going to take you will bore you, so I don't blame you for not liking it.
It's not that, but I am only saying that now is not the time for this kind of thing.
I know that, but I'm also ignoring that since I've already decided to spend all day with you on a date, Saber. I'm not going to change my mind no matter what you say. That's that.
We need to do this now, because if we do this later, there is going to be no later, because that jackass is going to come out of nowhere, and then it's going to be like an epic battle, and the next thing you know, you're going to be gone forever. Anyway.
And I'm going to be chasing regrets for the rest of my life. It's probably going to drive me to have, like, a hero complex.
Mm-hmm.
I look straight at Saber. The only thing Saber can do is look back at me in shock.
But
if you have something to say, I'll at least hear you out. I'm sure you have things to say, and I'd appreciate it if you told me now. That way we won't have to worry about holding back later on. If you say you don't want to go on a date with me, I'll think of something else we can do.
no, you need not go through all that trouble. I just,
It's odd seeing Saber at a loss for words. Well, if you have nothing to say, then let's go. You don't get to get mad about where we go since you don't have any requests. Maybe we should go to an aquarium. I hear those are popular. That sounds good, so I grab Saber's hand.
Shirou, I'm not complaining, but I do not think it's necessary to hold your hands. We're not crossing the street right now, Shirou.
Well, we're wasting time here, so we have to run a bit, and I'll guide you to where we're going, so follow me and don't let go.
But not like this. Shirou!
I start running without waiting for Saber's reply.
It is the last thing couples can be in public.
I wanted to be the dom.
Okay.
I've been pretty clear with Saber, so no more being pathetic in front of her. For now, I just need to escort her to every place I can think of. Saber's hand in mine, I run through the crowd. Apparently, Saber's given up resisting, so she just follows immediately. Again, worst possible phrasing. Worst possible phrasing.
Did I see the Hellhound shirt? Yeah, I ignored it. Because that's not my thing. Anyway.
It's a little before 10 o'clock. We have 2 hours until lunchtime, so I'm going to make the most of that and really knock Saber's socks off. Those 2 hours were like a storm. First, we tried a boutique I normally never go to. Then we tried her hand at bowling while I taught her the rules. I couldn't find the aquarium, but we fed birds at the park.
The aquarium.
This is just Saber disassociating. We visited an interesting antique shop that ended up being a lot of fun, and I maintain that not going to the movie theater was the right choice. It's 2004. It's like it's before superhero movies got good before getting bad again.
Mm.
Anyway, I spent the whole time taking her places I figured a girl might like, and it was 2 hours of failure and defeat. However I tried to spin it, the day wasn't really shaping up to be a date. It was more of an abduction. It felt more like a battle to the death in which the first person to give up loses. Wow, that's even worse than I thought.
Yeah.
Wherever I took Saber, she acted exactly like she always has done. Once in a while, she would fall so quiet, I would start to worry if she was truly angry.
This is a battle of wills. The first one to have fun loses.
Are you having fun yet, Shirou? Not really. Good, that means the contest is still on. Her lack of reaction made it clear she was not having fun, which pushed me to try even harder each time. And so, I ran all around the city, desperate to make Saber smile, but noon came before I actually accomplished anything. And with Saber's reminder that it's lunchtime, I decided to take a short break. However, huh. What is this place? I can't help but blurt it out as we sit down.
I suggest going to the coffee shop near the river for lunch.
That was the only advice Tosaka gave me last night. So I did as she suggested and picked this restaurant, but I never imagined it would be so pretentious.
Wait until you see the prices of just a single coffee, Shirou.
Let me take a look at the menu. Luckily, the menu has Japanese translations next to all of its foreign texts, so I can at least figure out what all the dishes are. The problem is, I've never even heard of any of these dishes, and the prices are outrageous. Where are we? On Mars or something? I have no idea what to order. I stare at the menu and growl.
There's no dishes with rice on here.
This is not a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
If they're like serving this kind of food.
Yeah. Shirou, I thought we came here to eat lunch.
Saber looks and sounds a little concerned. Where's the food? Yeah, but this is really not what I expected. I look up, and what I see is Saber looking like a cornered rabbit. Saber?
If you are uneasy, we can head back to the mansion. I actually prefer the food you prepare, Shirou. A lot of these dishes look very, very familiar to me, and I don't want to eat them. If they're anything like what they were when Gwen cooked them, I don't want it.
And all the remaining stuff is French, and I just don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you want to go home?
No, it's not that I want to go back, but I have been nervous all day, and I'm more tired than usual. I've been trying really hard not to have fun, Shirou, so that I won't lose this battle of wits.
Really? Oh. I thought about going back after we had lunch and a bit of a break, but if you're tired, maybe we should take a longer break here.
No, that's not what I mean. Tired is not quite the right word. It's more like, well...
Saber stops. Fortunately, I'm the only one who hears the faint squeak from her stomach. Oh, she could have just told me she was hungry.
I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is that I would appreciate it if we could eat lunch as soon as possible. I'm starving, Shirou.
Feed me, Shirou. Got it. Yeah, it may not be interesting, but let's order whatever looks okay here so we can get our food quick. It should be easy if a light snack is all we need. Here are two things that seem like lunch dishes and we eat quickly.
Don't be, Shirou. I'm hungry. Truly I am.
Well, while I'm drinking my after-meal coffee, I start thinking about what to do in the afternoon. What I learned this morning is that physical stuff like bowling is no good.
I break all the balls. Sorry, Shirou.
You put one through the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Saber is extremely competitive. That in itself is good, but Saber looks already draw enough attention, and when she gets like that, well, she stands out even more. After we finished a game, Saber got sulky because of all the attention she drew. So we're going to avoid physical activities. Hey, Saber, I'm going to ask you again, is there anywhere you want to go?
Me? No, nowhere in particular. I do not know my way around, so I will keep following you. I am happy now that I have had snackies. But I still am going to want a meal later, Shirou. This is barely enough to contain me.
Okay. Saber lifts her teacup as she speaks. She ordered black tea to have after her meal, and it seems she enjoys its flavor. I hardly serve black tea at home, and even if I did, it would just be cheap tea bags. Saber must not have been satisfied with the drinks I've been serving at home, since it looks like she prefers black tea. Well, I should be more mindful about that starting tonight. Saber isn't doing much, she's just drinking her tea. She doesn't seem particularly happy, but she doesn't look exactly bored either. I guess she's just being Saber.
I'm always Saber.
Saber's just vibing.
I'm just vibing. And also, if any other Sabers come up and say that they're Saber, tell them that I am the OG. The original. The original gangster.
That is the face of confidence of someone who knows they are atop the pecking order. As sunlight pours in through the window, Saber sits straight up, gracefully sipping from her teacup. It's the first time I've seen her do this, but it seems so natural. It's like I've seen it a million times before.
Well, there is one thing that was the Grail put into me, and that is it is present tea etiquette from Britain. Because there's no fucking way they had this in the past. I don't even think tea leaves were even in Britain when she was supposedly king. They served that from China later on.
I don't know why I'm thinking that. Saber, at least as I know her, is always serious, only focused on wielding her sword, on fighting. Oh, I get it. It's only natural. I only think of her as the girl who takes up her sword. The moment she sets her sword aside, Saber is always calm and gentle. This scene doesn't feel new or unnatural to me because it's just her being who she is. No matter how skilled a swordsman she is Saber just being normal. Or wielding her sword isn't what makes her exceptional. I once thought while I was dreaming that she was suited for fighting. I don't think I'm wrong there. No matter how great her sword skills are, no matter how many battlefields she's been on, as long as she was really herself, she couldn't have found the battlefield a comfortable place to be. That's why this is how it's supposed to be. Saber's not wielding a sword, she's just resting and unwinding. She belongs in this serene setting. Nothing changes in the afternoon. I take her to every shop I can think of, and Saber follows quietly. At least it's not as awkward as earlier in the morning. Either way, I'm getting used to the situation, or Saber's given up.
I have decided to figure out that this is not a contestant of wills. And now that I have eaten a sandwich, I now feel a lot better. Turns out I was just hangry.
Again, that's a word that the Braille teaches you, but not date.
Best.
She's still quiet, but the more I watch her, the more I notice she looks either angry or not angry, which is really confusing. Whenever I see Saber coming out of the store, she looks excited. I feel this sense of accomplishment. It makes me happy. Then, after a careful consideration of what Saber might like,
Stuffed animals! Ah!
I was joking about Build-A-Bear. I'm not certain, but I determined this is the shop most likely to please Saber. Saber stands in front of the store, mouth agape.
I fought them all, Shirou!
What did they do to all of these bear cubs? I'm not sure if her shoulders are trembling because she's angry or excited. I just can't tell.
Shirou, where are we?
I hear this is the biggest stuffed animal shop in town. I've never been here, since men aren't allowed.
I don't think you could bar men from entering a store, Shirou. I think there's laws against such things.
I know, but the looks you get from when you're a single guy going into the store and they're a mother with their children. Obviously, it's not that men aren't allowed in the store. It's just that most of the customer base are girls, so there's this unspoken rule about men not going inside. Unless you're buying a gift for a girlfriend. That's what we say to get into the Victoria's Secret. Besides, there are only girls in the store right now. Saber, with her beautiful blonde hair, is drawing attention while I'm drawing glares for being a guy. They must all be trying to keep me out of their sanctuary. And I can't agree more. Even I don't think a guy should be in a store like this.
Not with that attitude.
Well, we've come all the way here, so don't hold back. Let's take a look around. Do you have a favorite animal, Saber?
Well, I suppose I find lions and leopards to be quite lovely. Do you find that strange?
I find myself turning away and fighting not to laugh. I'm not sure why Saber liking lions is strange.
Sure, your reaction does not seem right. It fills me with an inexplicable sense of rage. Or it is in my imagination.
Bitch, I will slap you. No, sorry, I couldn't help but laugh. A lion is just so perfect for you.
It's almost like they animated you as one.
Like in a mascot suit.
Mm-hmm. What? Is it not right to laugh at someone's preferences, Shirou? And there's nothing wrong with lions.
And I said I'm sorry. To make it up for you, I'll take you somewhere good, so don't get mad. I try to fight down my laughter and walk into the store. Let's see. Looks like animal stuffed toys are over there. I thought the whole store was stuffed animals.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes about an hour to get from one end of the store to the other.
Jesus Christ!
This is a big-ass store. I watch in silence as Saber stares at the stuffed animals while I worry about the dozen or so sets of prying eyes staring at me around the store. I've never been so exhausted in my life as I am today. And remember, I got cut in half like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
The terrifying thing is we've only made it through half the store. You said you made it through the whole way! Saber frequently is paralyzed. That is, she often stops and stares at the stuffed animal. Even after all this time, we're only halfway through the store. Saber seems very interested in the other half of the store, so I guess I'll just hang around while she does what she wants here.
Shirou, why are you sighing? Are you tired from walking so much?
Yeah, I'm just a little tired. I usually don't get tired so easily, but today's special. I guess I should be careful about doing things I'm not used to. I heave a sigh. I don't mind people staring at us when we're just walking around, but I'm uncomfortable with it when we're in this girly shop. When you're mentally drained, the first part of your body that feels it is your legs.
Really? I always felt it in my stomach, personally. But maybe that's just a me thing. Why the doggo barking here? Because it's Fate Stay Night Friday!
For the first time in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Saber? This must be your first time in a store like this. Let me know if you get tired.
I'm a servant, Shirou. I don't get tired easily. Yes, I am a little uncomfortable, but you look far more so. Not only here, you not seem that comfortable in the previous shop, or the one before that. Or the one with all of the bras, for some reason. I don't know why we went to that one, Shirou. I don't really have much going on anywhere, so I don't really need a new bra.
I don't understand why they called it Victoria's Secret. I mean, it's plain out in the open. Everyone knows about it.
I hope you're not selecting places you do not wish to go.
Suddenly, those words dispel all the worries and mental exhaustion I felt earlier. Yeah, honestly, I might have chosen a bunch of places I wouldn't normally go.
I knew it. This is ridiculous, Shirou. You are aware of your own dislikes, so why would you purposely go there? You will...
It's the sort of place girls like, right? I was the one who made you come out here with me, and it's your day.
Except for the Victoria's Secret part. I just wanted to go in to see. I just wanted to always have an excuse to go in. Oh. Okay.
She would be so jealous if you were alive. Nisei's gonna be pissed off at me.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, it's not so bad since you're with me. I'm with a beautiful girl, so I don't look completely out of place. All the stares directed at me aside.
That is absurd. I may not be armed, but I am still a servant. Even if I am not fighting, you need not treat me like a woman. You must treat me as a servant, like always. Saber, I don't think you should say that in public.
I don't want to be treated like a woman. I want to be treated like a swordsman. You're the one being absurd. You are a girl. I'm not trying to treat you differently today. Unless you feel like I am.
Oh.
She's bewildered.
Wait a second. Now that I think about it, Shirou has always treated me as if I were a girl. Which I am. Now that I... Huh. This is weird. I'm weirded out, Shirou.
Oh, that's right. Merlin took that part off of me. I forgot that he did that. I thought I still had it. Saber's mouth hangs open as if she's only just now realizing this.
Okay, but I'm still the husband in the relationship. You understand this, right, Shirou? I'm still the top! No, you are the same. You are acting the same as you always do.
Pretty sure that's my line. Or... I don't know. Yeah, I guess that was your line. Okay.
That's my line, yeah.
See? No need to worry about me. So let's keep going. If we're gonna buy your favorite thing in here, we still have to see the other half of the store. I take Saber's hand. She offers no objection as I tug her along.
That's right. It's always been like this. I don't know why I'm realizing this now.
She murmurs to herself, sounding dazed.
I don't know how I feel having a younger man's affections like this. So strange.
The uncomfortable day passes by in a flurry. Saber never laughs, not once during the whole day, so neither do I.
Test of wills!
It's just one long continuous stream of misery.
Mm-hmm.
No part of the day was particularly memorable, but neither was there any painfully boring aspect. Basically, nothing significant happened.
Rin's gonna be pissed.
No. Rin is gonna make so much fun of me.
Mm-hmm.
The way it went, maybe Saber would have been happy if we'd stayed in the dojo and trained together. But today wasn't all bad either. Even if I didn't end up being all that exciting, I should be proud that I at least managed to take Saber around. After the war is over, and once everything goes back to normal...
I won't be here, Shirou.
I don't want to look back on all this and realize that all the time I spent with Saber was in combat. Even if this entire date was stupid, she needs to spend some time doing something other than fighting. There's no point in her being here. So yeah, I should be proud of myself. The end is near. God,
Time for all the ending flags.
When everything is done, and there's no need to fight anymore, if Saber can look back on this moment, that's enough for me. We walk back home. Just as we're trying to get on the bus.
I would prefer to walk home.
Saber finally voices a preference. The winds are picking up. The brilliant sun paints the bridge red.
I mean, really, I would have liked to ride my motorcycle, but we can't all have what we want.
Yeah, you see, back then, the Ilisua's family had the pull of the government to get me a license in case I got pulled over, but that's not the case now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's you.
Oh.
Saber notices something, stops, and looks over the bridge into the water. She's looking at a mountain of rubble. I'd say it's a mountain, but the pile isn't really that high. Steel frames and other things are piled up just a little bit below the water level, and it's only slightly disturbing the flow of the river. I don't know what happened, but some boat probably sank, then pieces of it drifted here. I assume that's the boat we see in the opening of this game. I hear some of the neighboring residents have been complaining, trying to get rid of the pile since it's so unsightly. What is it, Saber? Did that get your attention?
It is nothing. I only realized that it is still there. You see, I caused that during the previous war. I was forced to do battle over the water, and I had to use my noble phantasm.
I killed a giant octopus.
The only damages were the river drying up, but fortunately, it also struck a ship. But also, unfortunately, it struck a ship that was anchored here because I was specifically targeting that ship. But anyway,
I'm
thank
trying
you.
to remember, is that... Did she? Like, I remember...
Yeah, I think Castor and his master were on a boat, weren't they? Or at least there was a boat nearby, regardless, when that was happening. Or she was on the boat? I can't remember exactly what thing. No, she was on the water. But
she was on the water because she walked on the water.
Yeah, she walked on the water, but she... Who was on the boat, then? I feel like I do remember there was a boat. But, like...
I think so, too.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to... Was this the finale of Season 1, or was it the opener to Season 2?
I want to say it was the finale. It had to have been, haven't it? I don't know. It's been so long.
I think we need to check.
Maybe we should make it a watch party if I can ever figure out how watch parties work. and we watch Fate. We watch Fate Zero.
I'm not sure if that's such a good idea. The first episode has some really squicky stuff in it.
That's right, I'm supposed to be say-so now. I'm not allowed to watch sex anymore. Anyway, the damage was over the river dry, but unfortunately it struck a ship that was anchored there.
Struck with Excalibur?
Yes, fortunately there was no one on board, and the damage was minimal. The river had gone back to normal, so I believe there is nothing to be upset over. Well, I feel bad about it and regret it.
I really shouldn't, though. I did kill a pedophile.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't regret it, that's for sure. I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of like a casualty of war thing. And also, there was a bunch of mages, and then I think Iskander happened, and then Iskander didn't happen. It was a whole mess.
and then I went off to have a sword fight / foreplay with my Lancer boyfriend, and my master made him kill himself. I should be more careful. When we use Excalibur, I need to be mindful to use it somewhere there's a lot of open space, like out here.
Shirou, are you still mad?
Yeah. No, I'm not mad. I was just surprised. Plus, it's a reminder that there are still remnants from the previous war. Compared to the wasteland in Central Park, the amount of rubble in this river is nothing. Though, I guess the ship's owner might have not come out of that so great.
Please do not worry so much. Kiritsugu said the boat owner had insurance, and they originally parked the ship with the intention of using it as a cushion to dampen the river's flow. The ship acted as a wall that mitigated the damage from my noted phantasm.
Wait a second. Kiritsugu, I'm pretty sure Kiritsugu never told you that. maybe Irie.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you destroyed the ship knowing it was there for that purpose?
I'm not aware. Kiritsugu had put that prepared without my knowing.
No, I feel like I do remember that. I do feel like he moved the boat.
Mm-hmm. He must have been able to predict how the battle would turn out. I do not know because he did not say a word before or after he prepared the boat.
So what you're saying is, my father stole a boat, and then he lied to you that the previous owner had insurance to cover his own ass, so you wouldn't feel guilty. And then Saber looks down at the river, probably thinking back to that earlier Holy Grail war. The surface of the water glitters with reflected sunlight. The wind coming from the river flutters Saber's hair.
Whoosh.
The wind blows in very translucent puffs.
Maybe she's worth it, or maybe it's Maybelline.
She's so beautiful. Or maybe it's residual magical energy because we're at the source where a magical nuke went off, basically. Saber, did you have fun today? I'm suddenly scared Saber is going to disappear, so I ask a question it's probably better not to voice.
Come again? Did you say something, Shirou?
I did. I asked if you had fun today. I hold my breath. Saber looks a little confused.
Yes, I would be lying if I said none of it was new to me.
She says it fondly. Like she knows she'll never have another day like this.
Sure, I'm gonna be honest, the next couple of times I appear is because there's gonna be a lot of major shit going down. Anytime I get summoned after this, it's gonna be that it's because the world is in great peril. One from an alien, and then the other from... Well, it might still be an alien in the other one. Anyway.
I'm sorry, you're saying that aliens are real?
No?
I mean, yes, Shirou. Didn't you see the news? They found, like, traces of, like... If anyone's been following the news recently, there's recently been, like, a report that scientists found a planet that has elements on it that are only produced by living things.
Woo!
Of course, we will never be able to verify it because it's 100...
Oh.
Which is exactly why I already knew her answer. The only thing left for me to do is nod in agreement and then walk her home. At the least, things can still go back to normal if I leave it at that. I see. I look at Saber and nod. Let's come again. We'll have other chances to do something like this. It may be a dangerous thing to sit. Well, you made her sad, Shirou. Saber's expression hardens. I think she realizes what I'm trying to say. She looks directly at me and silently shakes her head. There will not be a second time. This happened today, and that's where it will stay. Why not? I know exactly what Saber's going to say. I know I won't be satisfied with her answer, but I ask anyway.
I need not explain. Servants exist only to fight. What we did today is only me denying what I am. I obeyed only because you determined we need rest. But from here on, there is no need for me to rest. There are only a few enemies left. Should you order me, I can leave and search for Lancer right now.
She focuses on me, eyes blazing with her fighting spirit. Saber is saying that she can head into battle any time if she is ordered to. And that really sets off my anger. What the hell? Are you really that eager for a fight?
Of course. The more I fight, the closer I get to the Holy Grail. Battle is our priority. I thought you understood that.
Yeah, I know, and it doesn't make any sense. I've been wanting to tell you. You're contradicting yourself. You keep saying fighting is important, but you've never once thought... You keep saying fighting is important, but you've never once thought you wanted to fight. You've got no other choice, so you're just fighting because you're forced to.
What? That's not true. I do not hesitate to fight. I have told you that I will do anything to win.
Yeah, she did say that. But that doesn't mean she likes fighting. As long as you can manage, right? Listen, Saber. If all you needed to do was defeat the other masters to get the Holy Grail, you would have done that already by attacking innocents, like Ryder. But you won't do that.
That's because...
It's not that you don't want to involve innocent people. You know very well that people die in battle. That's right. That's why you wanted to minimize the fighting. Once you start fighting, people die, which is why you wanted to end it as quickly as possible. In other words, you're just scared of there being casualties in these battles. Saber's eyes grow wide like she's seen a ghost, but quickly narrow. She grits her teeth.
You are wrong. I am not afraid of fighting.
Yeah, you're right. You probably haven't been afraid from the start, but that's only because you've squashed down all your own feelings, like fear beneath your duty and dignity as king.
Ridiculous.
And yet you don't want to fight. You were just good at it, but it's not a talent you actually wanted. Look, I'm gonna be blunt. You're not fit to fight. You never wanted to take up the sword in the first place. You're just saying it's what you want as a way to talk yourself into actually doing it. On top of that, why didn't anyone around her, even herself, figure it out and just say something?
Because I was the chosen one, Shirou. Shirou, I will brook no further insults, even from you.
You can't stand it because it's the truth. If you admitted it, you'd never be able to fight again. I hear a grinding sound. Saber is glaring at me, trying to hold back her anger. Look at how angry she is. I can't back down now. I know I'm right. I can't back down. So you should stop. You wanted to stop. You know you're not fit to hold a sword, to fight, so just quit. Stop being a servant and do something that suits you better. It's not too late for her to find whatever real human happiness she's always wanted. For that, I would...
Don't be ridiculous. My only option is to fight. I am here only to obtain the Holy Grail. I offered my entire self to protect the vow I made as king. I can do nothing else.
That's... She's just an object seeking to obtain the Holy Grail. That's what ticked me off the most. Why does she talk like she's only trying to convince herself? Everyone around her took her at her word because she keeps insisting on stuff like this. You idiot! That's not true! There are plenty of other ways to live your life. You're here in this age now. It's not like back when you were alive. We have dentists. You should try to live your life for yourself. Don't make the mistake of using the Holy Grail. What I say next is what I hope for most. Forget about the Holy Grail. Don't use it for anyone else. If you're here, you need to live here happily. My ears pick up the sound of the wind. Saber doesn't answer. She doesn't nod. She only looks straight into my eyes.
I cannot agree. I formed a contract to obey you. I did not give you my heart, Master.
Saber speaks slowly and clearly.
I will not break my vow as a king. I have a responsibility to fulfill, my duty. King Arthur's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail. Even if that were finished, I will never go back to being Arturia.
No, she means going back to being called Altria. She doesn't want to be called Altria anymore.
My wish remains unchanged. From the moment I drew my sword, my vow could never change.
What are you talking about? That's not what you really need to do. You will never be rewarded for what you did, and that's wrong. You don't need the Holy Grail. Besides, Besides, Saber's wish won't come true. It's already happened, can't be changed.
Thank you. I'm glad someone's finally saying it.
Saber, you can't redo something that's already happened. Or at least you shouldn't. I know you've already figured that out.
It's true. Technically, there's no way for her to grant her wish. The Holy Grail knows this, which is why this is, haha, funny.
It's like I feel like Shirou's like, it's like he's half right and half wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when Nasu says that he wants to like rewrite like parts of this, like,
Yeah.
I'm sure the whole like she doesn't really want to be a warrior thing.
Yeah.
Because it feels like she's like playing. She feels pretty happy with it, like in pretty much any other piece of media she shows up in.
Depends. I mean, it's not that she's doesn't want to be a warrior, it's more of she doesn't want to be the chosen one, more from what I've gathered from, because when they did Fairy Britain or whatever with her, you know, her fairy version of herself, it's that one is you get, even though she is a younger version of herself, because basically Castoria is like a Saber Lily kind of version, but is going on the pilgrimage to become the chosen one and blah blah blah. But the thing is that she doesn't like fairies or like anybody in this world, because she's like, this world is wrong, yada yada. And also she doesn't like the fact that all of them are liars to her. And because she is the only fairy that still exists that can always tell if someone's lying, and like is the only fairy that can't lie. Because like the fairies became more humanoid in the Lost Belt. They became more like humans. We're getting into
stuff that I just don't know that much about.
Yeah, and like in her more jaded thing is more is like, this is why she lost faith in everything, because everybody was, you know, horrible. Because, you know, they're fairies that are taking on the facades of humans, more or less. And if you know anything about how fairies are, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work very well, and they're probably like more. They're somehow. They're somehow worse than humans, kind of, in the way that they do things. Which is because they don't have... They just don't function properly, I guess is the correct word, with the way that they are. Saber isn't human. No, in this Lost Belt, she's not human.
Specifically the Lost Belt.
Yeah, and specifically the Lost Belt, she's a fairy. But... technically, if you want to go on a technical level, Saber isn't 100% human in Fate as well. She has draconic ancestries.
She got that dragon in her.
She got that dragon in her, boy. And, she's sort of like the perfect human being, so to speak. So people with, like... So, Saber's features have kind of happened because of Alvanon's shenanigans or whatever, the golden hair and maybe the green eyes. I think Saber has some elemental bullshit also going on with her. Elementals in Fate are people who kind of just come into existence under the fraud thing, but Saber did have a human mother and a human father, but there were a lot of things at play to, like, basically it's all Merlin's fault. Anyway, a lot of things happened in play to make sure that Artoria was born, because they needed the quote-unquote perfect human to wield Excalibur, because Excalibur isn't, as you can guess, Excalibur is not a normal sword, but like more Berlin blaming. Well, because it is technically his fault. Merlin orchestrated Arturia's birth. Like, when she was born, he was like, uh-oh, it's another girl. Guess I better hide this. Of course, it was his mistake that he didn't realize that Morgan also inherited some of the dragon thing. So Morgan could have also been the ruler of Camelot. And you have to kind of read. There's actually an extra novel where where Natsu actually wrote out the events of what happened in Camelot. And it's probably to give like full context, because Camelot is one of the few things in the Natsuverse that we have kind of like, we kind of know exactly almost everything that's happened. Bro, are you assigning homework? No, I'm not assigning homework. It's like, I don't even think it's been properly translated anywhere. I'm working off of bits of notes of things that I've seen around on the internet. But it does exist. But yeah, Camelot's one of the few things in the Natsuverse that we pretty much know everything that went down in it. And a lot of it comes back to Merlin did it, so... But, yeah.
All Merlin.
Mm-hmm. I mean, why else does he get... he get locked up in Avla? He is literally trapped there. That or he's taking a willing vacation. Depends on who you ask. No, that is absolutely...
Then I'm going to tell you. No matter how bad it ended up, you can't change what's happened. Asking you for a do-over just because you didn't get the result you wanted is the way a spoiled kid acts. We're at an impasse.
So you can't undo it, Arturia, because that event needs to happen or else Shirou will disappear. Because no, if you could change this one big history in the past, then all of the people will not have been born, because that timeline didn't happen. Arturia, you're gonna create the apocryphy universe.
I don't want to be a Kotamine. Saber doesn't say anything more, and I don't have any more to say. The sound of the wind stops.
Archer is recorded outside of time, though. You're right, he is.
Man, he's getting he would probably be so pissed off. It's like, god damn it! Even with this level of a paradox, I still can't get erased from history.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking bullshit. Or rather, pause this for a moment.
But in a case, if any of you want to know, Shirou Emiya is kind of like a universal constant. Like, he may not get adopted by Kiritsugu every time, but he seems to always exist, and it seems like Emiya Archer gets memories from that version of the Shirou in that timeline, although he does have access to his memories from his other timeline selves as well. But it feels like from everything that I've seen, usually the timeline that he's in, he usually gets the most dominant memories from. At least from the way I'm perceiving it, anyway.
Poor Shirou. An infinite number of possible timelines, and in every single one of them, he's an orphan. An instant later, it picks back up. I feel the wind on my cheek.
I thought you of all people would understand.
Becomes a headwind. Oh, now she's pissed.
Is that all you have to say after wasting our day?
Her voice is cold. You only hear rejection in it.
How arrogant! What knowledge can you claim to possess that lets you understand me? You have no right to involve yourself in my affairs. Ordering me not to fight, an untrained master like you, who is so reliant on my protection, has no right to talk. You should keep such drivel to yourself until you are able to fight for yourself. Though I am unsure whether or not that will ever happen.
Damn. No, this isn't just drivel.
It most assuredly is. Think of only myself. I do the same thing to you. You place no value on your own life. You say that I am wrong while doing the very same thing. Only the dead think of prioritizing the lives of others. How can a complete fool who does not know the value of their own lives spout such nonsense?
Saber, why are you...
Did I strike a nerve? I would happy to dissolve our contract right now. You have no desire for the Holy Grail in any case. I will defeat the remaining masters and obtain the Holy Grail alone. If you do not want to fight, then you need only hide.
Saber, are you serious? My voice trembles. My teeth are rattling. I'm angrier than I realized.
Yeah, we're just speed running this relationship, huh?
It's like we're putting it all out in the open.
Mm-hmm. Of course. My only goal is attaining the Holy Grail. Nothing else is important to me. And you, Shirou, are no exception.
Damn.
Dang!
I struggle to breathe.
She rejected you hard, boy.
I try to fight the blackness encroaching on my vision. Try to get my heart beating again. Damn, she burned him so hard he nearly passed out. You idiot! Fine! If you're that eager to fight, go do it yourself. I don't care anymore. I can't keep my emotions under control. I yell out some sort of lame excuse, then turn and run. I run away from her. And for an instant, I think I see Saber just standing there, dumbfounded. Damn it! I just run. I don't know why I'm mad, only that I am. So I run in a fit of rage.
Nothing else is important to me. And you, Shirou, are no exception.
Ugh. Grit my teeth. Honestly, I'm getting dizzy just thinking back on what she said. So I'm focused I might run into a ball or something.
Honestly, I think you're both being idiots at this point. I mean, I think both of you took this way too far, personally.
You have two very headstrong people and they're button heads right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would be easy if I could do that. If I was only angry at Saber, I should have taken it out on her like an idiot and just been done with it. But something else caused my fit of rage. I'm not mad at Saber. I'm so frustrated that I keep running and don't allow myself
Aw,
to
you're
catch my
upset
breath.
because she didn't say she loved you back.
Because I know I'm a spineless good for nothing. Saber just stands there, gaping at me. I heard her faintly just as the wind changed directions.
I thought you of all people would understand.
Damn. The hell I would know that, you idiot! I immediately regret my words and nearly trip. What did those words mean? It sounded like parting words, but also like she'd been about to cry. And I think back, this was probably the only honest thing she'd said. She'd hung her head as she'd muttered that to me. voice was a mixture of expectation, disappointment, and pleading. And who was the betrayer and who was betrayed?
It was Mordred. Mordred was the problem. It was Mordred. Even though Mordred is not here, I'm going to blame it on her.
I blame my son.
I blame my
that
son.
I do not have.
This is all Mordred's fault somehow.
The son that I do not have.
Mm-hmm.
I ran into my room and slammed the sliding door. Flopped onto the floor, arms and legs splayed. I'm tired of standing.
This is where Rin goes, "Hey, Shirou, honey, how did the day go? Oh, you poor thing. Do you want some soup to make you feel better?"
Rin, fuck off!
Okay.
I just want to lie down and go right to sleep. But even when I lie down, my body's on fire. My heart feels like it's about to burst, and my lungs are desperate to take in oxygen. I ran back here at full speed, not even pausing once, so I can't blame my body for the discomfort. I feel like I still haven't run enough, but my body is telling me to slow down.
Your body's like, "Hey, boy, you're having like an anxiety attack here. You probably should, calm down."
You, my young friend, are hormonal. It takes a bit. I manage to calm down. I take a deep breath. Hold it, and release it. After my breathing calms down, there's just one thing swirling left in my head, and it's a simple question. What am I really angry about? It's not really something I need to think about. I was running because I know I'm helpless. I can't help Saber. It's so frustrating. I'm angry with myself. I can't do anything. I said I was going to make her smile. I decided to protect Saber, but I couldn't do anything, and that's making me so angry. What can I do? If Saber doesn't even want happiness, there's no point in someone else trying to get involved. That's why I tried to help Saber find happiness on her own. But she told me those efforts were futile. Even called me an idiot. A fool who doesn't even know the value of his own life, huh? But what do I do with all that? I value my life. I don't want anything to end it. My life has nothing to do with Saber. Bringing my circumstances into this wasn't fair. No matter how stupid I am, I know for sure that Saber's wrong. Is she, though? When she outright rejects me like that, there's not really anything I can do. Damn! Yeah!
So we only lose the mid Shirou with this plan.
She can do whatever the hell she wants.
Mm-hmm.
I roll over, lay flat on my face. Now I want to see if it's a tiny nap, so I might as well close my eyes and empty my mind. I don't care what happens to Saber.
Liar.
He lied as naturally as he breathed.
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Grail is so important, then she just married it! Oh, good. So
now
like,
who's behaving like a child?
This is like middle school.
If you love the Holy Grail so much, why don't you marry it? Maybe I will, Shirou. Maybe I will marry the Holy Grail. Grail, huh? Get an extra 10 levels while I'm at it. I mean, I'd have to marry, like, several of them to get to that point, but you understand what I mean.
If she's gonna be this stubborn after I've told her this so many times, I should just stay out of it. I'll end up getting burned. Actually, I might not get out of that mess with only a burn. Might actually get really hurt.
You haven't been hurt yet, Shirou?
I've slept off it. Ugh! The hell? I've already gotten hurt.
I was eating Bad Dragon.
This is worse than just getting burned.
I was burned alive.
I met her, fought with her multiple times, and to survive, I saw into the depths of her heart in a moment of incredible intimacy. But nothing happened.
But nothing happened. There was no.
We gotta keep this game on Steam.
Yeah, there was no dingle in the woohoo.
There was no dingling in the fairy cave.
Yep.
I remember her heat, the light deep inside her. I don't know why I'm remembering this right now.
Because you have a problem, Shirou. I think it's called a hate boner.
Hey, I hear that, like, hate sex is the best kind of sex. There's a faraway grassy field. Memories of a girl left behind. The moment I think back to that beauty, nothing matters anymore. What Saber says doesn't matter. You're just a thing to fight? Then don't expose your own weakness for crying out loud! Saber's just unfair. I don't know what exactly is unfair about her, but I know something is. Angry as I am, I can't hate her. The more I want to forget her, the harder it gets. It's all tangled up. Damn. So the person who falls in love just gets screwed over. I can't help it. I can't give up no matter how many times she tells me it's useless. I just have to see through to the end.
Thought you of all people would understand.
I remember her face there, on the verge of tears. Does that mean... Will she make that face every time I do something like this?
Nah, this was a one-time only deal, Shirou.
But I can't... No matter what happens, I can't agree! I'm going to keep doing this, even if I'm wrong. If she's really important to me, I'll never apologize to her.
That... What? I
think I hear the sound. It's the sound of Cherry's brain stopping, processing that last sentence.
My brain hurts, Shirou, from your middle grade schooler mentality. What?
I'm not sure when the sun set, but the room's gone dark. The ticking of the clock is getting annoying.
Hey, how long are you gonna sleep? I need to wake up, for crying out loud.
Huh?
I keep saying you need to wake up. It's already past 10. Ilya won't shut up about how hungry she is. So you need to wake up and deal with this.
She sounds upset. I snapped to full wakefulness. It's past 10?
Oh no! I did the emo teenage thing and slept all through the day.
Even though it was evening. I jump up.
Yep, it's 10:17 to be exact. It's way too late for dinner.
Tosaka stands over me looking annoyed. Sorry, I fell asleep. I'll be out soon, so wait in the living room.
That's fine, but where's Saber?
Huh? If she's not here, I guess she's the dojo or the living room.
Shirou, I'm asking because she's not here.
Tosaka is serious. I instantly realize what that means. Don't tell me... She hasn't come back yet?
Shirou, what do you mean she hasn't come back yet?
Tosaka runs out of the room after me. There's no time to explain. I ignore Tosaka's yelling behind me, and I rush outside.
Can you at least make dinner before you run off? Ah, God, he's gone.
Rin proceeds to walk into the kitchen, rolling up her sleeves.
Well,
up her sleeves.
I guess I have to make dinner.
Yep, sorry, Elia. We're having toast for dinner. The town is quiet. Just like yesterday, there's absolutely nobody around. I don't have the patience to think about how odd that is. Saber hasn't come home yet. I actually don't blame her. We had a huge argument. She said she was going to fight alone. Knowing her, she'd do it too.
I'm stubborn that way.
Saber's nowhere to be found. If I can't find her, that might mean she's actually fighting Lancer, the final servant, as we speak.
Honestly, actually, I can't find him anywhere. Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
But I head straight to one more place. The air near the river is cold. The night is chilly, and when I passed the park, it was so cold the entire place felt like it was covered in frost. My cheeks and ears sting with the cold, and my breath mists white. If it's that cold in the park, I can't imagine how absolutely freezing it's going to be on the bridge with the wind blowing up from the river. There, I see her.
I didn't know where to go, so I just stood here the entire time.
She's right where she'd been standing when I ran away. Saber leans on the rail and just gazes out over the water. Maybe she's following the sun, which has long set. She's staring off into the distance, her eyes fixed on a red horizon that's long since vanished. And that's when I realize Saber is strong, but she's weak too. Her dignified appearance is just her way of trying to prove she can get by without anyone's help. And at the same time, she's so fragile she might slip through my fingers if I reach for her. She can't do things alone, but she will probably keep that front up till the very end. So, just like me, she's been staring up at the unreachable stars. All she does is look at the setting sun as if it's all she knows how to do. I can't leave her alone. If our argument needs a loser, then it's unquestionably me. It's led to me swearing never to let her make that face again. I step out onto the bridge. Saber doesn't seem to hear my footsteps. I approach without a word and lean on the railing next to Saber. Saber, you're going to get cold out here. She jumps in surprise. Saber finally notices me.
Shirou?
She turns toward me.
What are you doing out here at this hour? Oh, sorry. Wrong way.
What are you doing out here at this hour? You didn't come home. Tosaka was worried.
I see. I feel bad about that.
It's fine, but why are you here? Well, it was at least easy to find you since you stayed in the same place.
Yes, I am still here because I have not yet decided where to go. You told me to do whatever I wanted to do, so I've been trying to think of what I want to do. But I could not think of what I should do or go where I wish to go, so I've been trying to determine where to go.
She sounds like a lost child. Saber doesn't look me in the eyes as she speaks. Maybe she feels guilty. Maybe she does after the fight we had. I can't blame her for thinking I must be angry.
Well, you are angry, Shirou. I'm sorry. Please tell Rin I am in her debt. I will return to you once I have defeated Lancer and obtained the Holy Grail. So until then...
Is she saying she intends to wander around alone without anywhere to go home to? That idiot! What are you talking about? You have my place to come home to. There's food and a bed for you there.
But you said that you don't care what I do any longer.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're going to do next. I say that, and then I take her hand.
Shirou.
Let's go home. You being a servant doesn't mean you won't catch a cold if you stay out here in the cold for so long. Come on, let's go home, eat something warm.
No, sure, that's exactly what that means. I can't catch a cold from being out in the cold. I can barely feel the cold, Shirou.
I'm trying to hold on to what little dignity I have left. Please let me have this.
Okay. But I...
And I'm gonna say this, but I'm not gonna apologize. If you have any complaints, tell me now.
I think you should apologize a little.
I'm crude about it, but I try to avoid her gaze. She stares at me confused. Saber looks like she wants to apologize, but I ignore her. Maybe that works in my favor. She doesn't say anything, she just follows me in silence, holding my hand.
Sure, we're only supposed to hold hands crossing the street.
We're crossing the bridge. It's the same. It's like a street for rivers. We head across the bridge and into the park. It's 11 o'clock. There's nobody in the park, but it's packed with plenty of decorations like fountains and streetlights. I walk briskly. Saber's steps are sluggish. She stood on that bridge for more than 5 hours. She must be freezing and tired.
You know who else is tired? Me! I'm tired. It's time for bed.
Okie dokie.
And that's where I'm going to end it. I kept feeling like there was going to be a spot to stop, but then like this is not stopping.
I mean, I am fairly certain I've seen a certain character sprite on this background, so I'm certain that spot is coming up soon, but
yeah,
it's like it's now is as good a time to end it as
yeah.
ever.
Now it's time to take.
So ends the worst date in the history of anime.
Yes. I hope you all enjoyed the most awkward date, and always remember that you can do better than Shirou, guys. There is hope for you. All of these other animes may have set up unrealistic expectations, but this one gives you hope. Here's all the things you don't do on a date. There's hope for us yet, guys. Alright. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I look forward to you all for the next episode. Tomorrow, we pick up where we left off in Final Fantasy IX, which I also do not remember that very well. So, it's gonna be a fun time. Alright, good night, bye-bye!
Good night, everybody.
Wah 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 wah.